Uh, Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dirk's Tech Pub. Yeah, I don't have my phone with me at Monday, November 3rd. Wish this would stay the way I want it to. But it's clearly not going to do that. And a little better, but still way off. Hello, Ken. Hello, Ski Man. Hello, Mabel. Hello, Jeff. Yeah, how am I doing today? Yeah, tired. I was kind of busy this morning. I was up, I don't know, a little bit before, or a little bit after the sun came up. Sunrise was just happening or something like that, and I had to get up early this morning, get some early morning stuff done. Not that I wanted to. It was kind of chilly out this morning. Yeah. Back to drinking water again. The title of the show has got nothing about what we're gonna do. I was just thinking about coding earlier, lines of code, and I don't know, stupid title that I put down here because it was something I was thinking about. I don't know, something I'd like to get into sometime later on. Maybe this winter I might get into a project or two. I don't know where to start with that, so if anyone has any ideas, just let me know. Are there any projects that I could start doing as far as coding so I can get a little bit of practice into it? Even if it's just copying what I'm reading, some lines of code that I have to put in and see if I can get it to work like it's supposed to. Like it's supposed to do something at the end. Batch files are the same way. After you get the batch file written, that batch file is supposed to do something. I tried a little bit of it years ago and I just didn't have time to indulge in it like I wanted to. Someone else was doing that from college, and I said, that batch file stuff is pretty kind of neat. I might want to try that. I don't know where I would go to get projects to do for with batch files or coding, because Windows is written with lines of code, thousands and billions of lines of code. It's got a lot of lines code to a lot of line of codes to it, more than I'd want to think of. Speaking of Windows, Brentech says that Microsoft confirmed that Windows Task Manager is broken. Okay. And being that it is broken, it could potentially be potentially degrading PC performance. Uh, Microsoft Edge updated to 142.0.3 3595.53. And with that, this is about a week. This is about a week old, because I got up to this one late. It had 20 security fixes. 7 of those were high severity and high impact. So, for those of you, and I think we have one here particularly that I was hoping was going to be here, is Josh, but I'm sure he's already updated his already. But if anybody hasn't updated their MS or their Microsoft Edge, you might want to go update that if you haven't since last week. got some nasty bugs in it, and 7 of them are ones you don't want sticking around. Yeah, I know. I might try doing stuff on the command line, but I don't know as far as coding. I don't know how far you can get with that. I don't know anything about it, so I'm gonna start from scratch on that one. And then once I get into it and start learning things, then I'll start doing it on a live stream, showing you the coding that I've learned. I gotta find some easy projects to do on coding, then kind of go there and kind of expand from there, kind of work my way outward. I would imagine so, Ken, but it's best just to go in there and check. Usually, when you started, it usually said it went through an update. I don't know if that's how they're still working, but they didn't on mine. I think mine updated automatically, so I didn't have to do anything, and mine was already up there. So, but then again, this is over like almost a week old because I'm late on the news stuff. So Brentex says that Microsoft has confirmed that Windows 11 Task Manager is broken, potentially degrading PC performance. Oh, Microsoft. What else are you gonna break? uh, I think this is a separate problem than what Brian was talking about the other day. Was just same thing showing up all the time. Yeah, him, ghetto. Yeah, I don't use Edge unless I have to. Unless something will go where it should work in Google Chrome, but if it doesn't want to work there, then yeah, I'll go to Microsoft Edge and do it from there, and most likely it'll behave like it's supposed to in Microsoft Edge. But mostly, I usually just go back to Google Chrome and do it there, and it'll work. Very rare do I ever have to go back to Microsoft Edge. Yeah, it's getting cooler here too. I forget what our temperature is, and I have to go back and look. Seriously. I tried changing the latency on my YouTube thing, and that didn't change anything. Yeah, we're 54 degrees here. I don't know what you guys are there around the United States and California and Indiana, wherever you guys are from. Yeah, we're 54 here. It looks nice outside, but one thing I'd like to do, and I don't know if I'm ever going to, but I'd like to get out to Hobby Lobby and check out that place, but I just haven't been able to find the time to do that yet. And I gotta get my bike fixed. I gotta get that into the bike shop one of these days. Get that fixed. Some things I just don't want to mess with it and mess with it. I don't have a bike stand. I'll put the bike up so I can work on it. I'm working on getting one so I can do my own bike repairs, but I mean I do work on other people's bike, but that's usually like replacing a chain or something or replacing brake pads and caliper brakes. Caliper. However, the different kind have the brake pads and it's not they're not hydraulic. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna be here Wednesday. It's supposed to be in the 50s. It was nice. You get a little bit of nice weather. I think that'd be a little bit chilly. Well, maybe not too chilly for me, but depends on how windy it is. Iowa is Midwest. Ski Man's 55, currently 60 where Ken is. You're getting snow, Mabel? And excited with snow. Yeah, we're not supposed to get snow here for a while. I'm just, I'm, yeah, it is windy outside. I can hear it hitting my air conditioner. And maybe I won't be going anywhere today. I don't want to be fighting the wind. And I know if I go across that bridge, I'll be fighting the wind. That'll be a headwind going across that bridge. I'm gonna find some long johns and some sweatpants. Put long johns on underneath my jeans so I can stay a little bit warmer. Get 2 layers of socks on when it starts getting colder out. When it starts getting to 10, 15, 20 degrees above zero and windy, it's like 18 degrees out. That's when I'll put two pairs of socks on. The shirt underneath this one, I'll double up, and then I'll put my 2 jackets on, my thin one, and then put my outer winter jacket on. Have sweatpants on, and or sweatpants. I don't know what they're called. I usually put, well, maybe long johns. I don't know, long johns or sweatpants. One of the two. And I hate thinking about having to dress up for winter again. It's really hard to find golf balls in the snow. Yeah, I can see where that'd be a problem. I don't know. I just hoping Microsoft gets that Task Manager problem fixed. But at least now they admit that it's broken. I don't know. I don't mess with Task Manager too often. Hmm. Ken doesn't like the S word. I don't either, but I know we're going to be dealing with it here in about, I don't know, I'd say 3 weeks. 3 weeks from now. Yeah, I'd say towards shortly after Thanksgiving. I bet you it's going to start having snow flurries around the 27th, 28th. That's my predictions. If we're going to see snow flurries before, on that date of the 26th, the 27th, or before. I'm kind of going on. It'll probably happen before. I hope not. I'd like to do without it this year. I really would. Although I did get out my notices this winter that if people would like me to do some snow shoveling, I'm able to carry a snow shovel. I'll just put it in my trailer and I'll bring the salt with me, a shovel, shovel sidewalks and driveways. I can do that this winter if I can get there. If there is a clear path for me to get there, I will, but I usually have to wait a couple of hours. Let the streets get cleared out and the sidewalks. Can you make it an ending? Sledding? I haven't done any of that for years. Usually, I'll get my friend gets a snowmobile running. This winter, we'll probably be out running around on the snowmobile a bunch of times, but depends on how much snow we get. We gotta usually have more than 4 inches. So the big news, if you all heard it, is that Cyber CPU Tech got all of his videos back. Um, I think YouTube was starting to get a little under pressure from all the publicity it was getting about YouTube taking videos down for unknown reasons or not a good enough reason or whatever, and it was starting to spread like wildfire. So, while YouTube decided to do the right thing, and I think they just gave him back his videos. I don't know if they did that with Brightech. I don't know if they gave his videos back. I haven't heard anything, but I know CPU Tech, Cyber CPU Tech did get his back. So good on YouTube to do that. Because like I said, I'd gotten on my channel, I had said something, and I went to a few other places, and I kind of bickered and battered about the BS that YouTube is doing, and that they really need to stop it because it's people are just going to find other platforms to move to if YouTube keeps doing this. And I know they're making changes and they got to update things every once in a while, but I mean, good God, try to keep things the same. Try to keep things running the way they were. Don't be taking this AI crap and doing whatever. I don't know, but it needs to stop. You've got bigger people to go after than the small fish. The small guys, I don't think you really have to worry about. It's more like Linus Tech Tips and those bigger places out on YouTube than like that. But as small guys, you don't have to worry about. We're not. Some of us are just doing it for fun, and a lot of us like Cyber CPU. I think he's trying to make a living off of it. So I don't know. It's the kind of thing. And I still haven't checked out that new case from Thermaltake. I've got to look at that. The Thermaltake View 600 TG. I gotta take a look at that, see what that's like. 21 after. YouTube changing, yeah. Yeah, they're always changing something, and they're going to be switching more over to AI stuff in the future. Pretty much that's what's going to be running if not doing everything with YouTube is AI. They've said that quite a few times that that's what they're going to start doing. It's just moving everything over to AI, so everything will be AI based in YouTube. Little by little, I mean, they're not going to throw everything at us, but little by little, they're going to start switching over to AI and doing more with AI, making us having to do more with AI. And I don't know about that. It's something I'm not really. I don't know. We'll have to see how things go in the future with YouTube. See if things really change that way. See what it's like. But a lot of things are switching over that way. Windows is going to be mostly primarily run by AI next year or the end of next year. So I don't know. We'll have to see how things go in a year or so. Yeah, I'm sure some of that phone call that you're dealing with, Ski Man, is probably AI. I know when I called the HP company I had to call them for something for trying to get my order to go through for that laptop that I got. And I know for a fact because they told me AI generated voice, Jennifer or Jenny, something like that. And it had something to tell me, so it told me that, and then a couple other things, and then some other voice came on and said something, and then said it was gonna pass me on to the person that I wanted to talk to. Very weird, very strange experience. With HP Tech Support, which is calling the store, HP Store, which is who they had me call after running around and rounds with them, trying to get where I was needing to go to talk to them about order that I had made on my laptop. And finally, they pointed me in the right direction. Like 20 minutes later, I said, "Oh, you know what you need to be?" He's like, "No, I don't know. Where do I need to be?" "You need to be over in talking tech support over in the store." "Oh, well, can somebody put me there?" Yep, click, click, boom, there I was, and got it checked out, and things were fine, and they had what they needed already, so that's how that went. But then in the beginning of the phone call, trying to get me to do certain steps, or I had to do certain steps, and it sounded like I was talking to AI for the first part of it. Second part, I think I was talking to a little bit of AI or something, and then it was all animated after that. That this voice was going to take you over to this department, and then after I go through that department, don't get anywhere or nothing happens, they'll move me on to where I need to be. Thank you for your patience. Like, what patience? Like 10, 11 minutes by then. I had pretty much run out of patience. But I think for the first part of that conversation, I think it was AI. I'm not sure how far that AI stuff went. I think probably quite a ways. And then it all stopped, and then it was just the animated messages saying they're glad that I called and that my call was important to them. Please hold on as the next available teller will get to me as soon as possible. Uh huh. 18 minutes later, still nothing. I think about 21 minutes later, someone finally got back to me. And he said, "Hey, hello, how can I help you?" Like, is this a human being or AI? He kind of laughed. He said, "No, sir, this is a human being." Well, good. I had a couple of questions, and I got my questions answered. Yeah, that's about what it was. 18 minutes later, almost 19. Then some guy finally got on. Finally, he's like, Jesus, hate that. I have to sit there 18, 19, almost 20 minutes on hold. It is not fun. And I've done that for a couple of other people, customers or whatever else it is, and you have to call a company, and then you call them only to be put on hold for like 15, 20 minutes. Irritating. There should be a quick way of doing things, but there just isn't with companies like that. You have to go through the process of being on hold before you actually talk to another human being. Why? Why do they have to make it so difficult? And I was actually told that by another guy who said you have to be on hold first before you can actually talk to somebody. What? You're putting us on hold on purpose? Of course we are. Oh my god. I can't remember what company it was that I was talking to, but it's again helping somebody else out, and so I have to call their customer service or customer support or yeah. Oh, it's not that I don't mind dealing with customer support or customer service. It's just I wish support or service knew what the hell they were doing. I know what I want to tell them, but can they do what I'm asking? And most of them can't. I'll just sit there and scratch their heads like, gee, I don't know how to do that. What do you mean you don't know how to do it? Well, I'm not the one that's really responsible for doing that. They said, then put me through the person that can. They said, well, I'm the only one you can talk to about that. And oh, oh. I don't like customer service or customer support. They just don't seem to understand what I want and what I need to do. But guys, I gotta do something with this webcam. It's not sitting right. It is 2:29, And we've got the guy coming out and cleaning the carpets, and he's rather noisy today. So I think I'm going to cut this short and say my goodbyes and see you guys later, because I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but that's the carpet sweeper guy going by. They're cleaning the carpets. At least they're doing that more often now than what they used to. But there's other things they could improve on around the building, but at least they're keeping the carpets clean. But alright guys, tomorrow's Tuesday. There will be a live stream on Tuesday. Same time, same place. Until next time, folks. Bye for now.